Hi everyone, thanks for listening to my presentations. Today I'll be talking about thyroid hormones actions. Thyroid hormones actions, and this will form part 4 or 7. If you haven't listened to parts 1, 2, and 3, please kindly do. Okay, let's go. That's what we call Neuro-Endocrine System, and that is giving us the indication that the hormones might not be able to work independently without the influence of the brain. And therefore, in physiology, we have 3 axes: hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis, which we are going through right now, hypothalamic adrenal axis, and hypothalamic gonadal axis. The gonadal axis could be, like in women, could be hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis, and that would be controlling or regulating the ovulatory cycle. You can check my channel for normal ovulatory cycle. It is already published. So today I'm going to limit myself to HPT, that is hypothalamic pituitary thyroid gland axis. Hypothalamus, as we must have known, all nursing students and medical students will know that at once, is in the brain, right? And of course, pituitary gland, particularly anterior pituitary, is concerned right now. Why? The thyroid gland is the gland that is responsible for storing and releasing the thyroid hormones. Hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis. The hypothalamus will sense a drop in the level of T3 and T4. Then TRH, that is thyrotropin-releasing hormone, will be released. The TRH will stimulate the pituitary, this time anterior pituitary, and that will produce thyroid-stimulating hormone. The thyroid-stimulating hormone will go ahead and work on the thyroid gland, and that will lead to production of more T4 and T3 until euthyroid state is reached. Thyroid hormones are very critical in every human being. When we were kids, it will help in brain development in infants and young children. And of course, somatic development in infants and early years of life. In all grown-ups, metabolic activities will be regulated by thyroid hormones. And of course, all organs will function well when we have euthyroid situation. So functions of all organs are affected either by hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. Actions of T3 are dependent on some factors: availability of the hormone itself, thyroid hormone nuclear receptors, receptor cofactors, and of course DNA regulatory elements. There is effects on glucose, and it promotes glucose uptake, and reduction of that function may lead to type 2 diabetes mellitus. You can see, so some that are down with diabetes mellitus, particularly type 2, can have and must have and should have thyroid function test done. There is that likelihood of interference with thyroid hormones, and that can be from retinoids or resinoids, which can suppress thyroid stimulating hormone. And when that happens, we will be dealing with central hypothyroidism. Smoking cigarettes or polychlorinated biphenyls, that is PCB, can interfere with thyroid function. So it is not out of place why taking history in case of hypothyroidism or any thyroid disorders to ask about history of cigarette smoking. And to my friends that are smoking, please check my channel. I have presented a full lecture on all different ways to achieve smoking cessation. Also, perchlorate, that is a contaminant of water and food in some places, can interfere with thyroid hormone functions. Thiocyanate, that could also be found in water, and cigarette can also interfere. You could see cigarette alone is appearing in 2 out of 4 different ways that some chemicals can interfere with thyroid hormone function. Soybean or isoflavones. This might be shocking to some women, in particularly the mothers, that soy protein can interfere with thyroid function. And ask me, how about that? Soy protein can interfere with T4 absorption from the intestine. So, if a child is diagnosed with congenital hypothyroidism, it would be horrible, detrimental, to give such a child any soy-containing formula. It should be taken off the table. All mothers, take that, please. Tell your friends. No soy protein for any child with congenital hypothyroidism, particularly if the child is receiving treatment, that is T4. When you administer T4 and the child is taking a formula filled with soy protein as part of the constituent, the T4 will not be absorbed, and the child would never get out of the hypothyroidic state. Take note. T3. T3 increases sex hormone binding globally. Functions to increase osteocalcin. It increases concentration of angiotensin combining enzyme and also decreases serum cholesterol level. What an advantage to those with hyperlipidemia, where you have good concentration of T3. Selective thyroid hormone analogs. Well, clinical application is still a novel therapy for a variety of conditions, like treating hypercholesterolemia. Might be because of what I've just said now a few minutes ago. Also, a novel therapy for hepatic steatosis, and also in obesity, heart failure, and neurological disorders. TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, stimulates all the steps in thyroid hormone synthesis and secretion. It stimulates intermediary metabolism, also stimulates expression of many genes in thyroid tissue. It causes thyroid apoplasia and hypertrophy. Actions initiated by binding to specific plasma membrane receptors could be that it will initiate activity of adenine cyclase, thereby increasing cyclic adenosine monophosphate. And when we have enough or high level of adenosine monophosphate, that will lead to more activation of several protein kinases for glycogen, sugar, and lipid metabolism. And that could also lead to stimulation of phospholipase C activity in thyroid tissue itself. Might also lead to increased intracellular calcium ion concentration and protein kinase C activity. And with that, I've come to the end of this short presentation, and that is the end of part 4 of 7 when it comes to thyroid gland. I will move into the next presentation, which will be laboratory values when we carry out thyroid function test. And that will form part 5 of 7. Okay, please remember to share this with your friends and remember to subscribe. I appreciate it. You're free to leave comment and I will gladly respond to them. Thank you.